Warning. This video essay includes book excerpts that feature profanity. Funny profanity. Please do not watch this video if you are too young for naughty words. This video is for writers who are grown-ups and who try to write dialogue in the manner in which people really speak. Yes, there are a million exceptions, but there's an overall truth. Literary fiction often lacks humor. Fun and funny don't often win National Book Awards. As a writer who grew up using humor as a defense mechanism, and subsequently did improv and stand-up comedy, and who loves humor, this tendency has always bothered me. Humor is part of what makes us human, or at least a primate. There are chimpanzees who play jokes on each other. It's how we cope with uncomfortable situations, how we deal with the thousand slings and arrows of outrageous fortune. There isn't anything inherently low-class or plebeian about humor, but it bums me out that humor is often seen as the doggerel of the literary world. Guess what? Humor is good. Humor works. Humor can enhance your drama and make your work better, even if it decreases your chances of becoming a literary lion. I'm going to take a look at a book that made me laugh out loud and gave me hope. But first, a word from our sponsor, IAMS! Friends, IAMS are so important. They're the metrical feet composed of stressed and unstressed syllables that make up the words we use every single day. Think of your name. I'm Kenneth Nichols. Guess what? That's two trochees. Kenneth Nichols. Sounds pretty even, right? What about the pseudonym I adopted from one of my favorite Gin Blossom songs? That's a dactyl, Allison, followed by a single stressed syllable that brings the whole name together in a musical fashion. IAMS. Use the promo code Allison Rhodes, one word, and you'll be able to put together beautiful sentences. Okay, we're back. Like a lot of you, I suspect I subscribe to a number of book promotion sites. Not only do I want to check out some fun books, many of them indie or self-published, but I also want to check out the competition, so to speak. What are others doing that works? I found Jana Aston's Wrong in a box set, another self-publishing concept I still need to learn more about. Hilariously Ever After collects 9 laugh-out-loud romantic comedies. The point of giving away 2,400 pages of hard work, of course, is to get your work in front of readers who are into funny romantic comedies. And in this case, allowing her work to be included in Hilariously Ever After resulted in me analyzing her work and giving her a little more press. That's great. First, let's take a look at the book description so you know what Wrong is all about. A New York Times best-selling romantic comedy. I have a history of picking the wrong guy. Gay, player, mama's boy, check, check, and check. Now I can't stop fantasizing about one of the customers at the coffee shop I work at between classes. It's just a harmless crush, right? It's not like I ever see this guy outside of the coffee shop. It's not like I'm going to see him while attempting to get birth control at the student clinic, while wearing a paper gown, while sitting on an exam table, because he's the doctor. Shoot me. But what if, for once, the man I've had the dirtiest, most scandalous fantasies about turned out to be everything but wrong? Author's note, this book is filthy. If you're offended by that kind of thing, this book is not for you. I started reading this book before any of the others in the box set because, come on, the description is funny. I love that it's in the first person because that tells me the book's narrator is going to be fun. So the prose itself is funny. Why? Because the protagonist is being honest. The situation is also funny. Women are generally not thinking of romance during gynecological appointments. I mean, there's got to be one or two. So I love that Jana established immediately that there will be humorous set pieces. Honestly, the description is pretty sparse in terms of plot, but Jana tells us exactly what we need to know to want to read the book. Sophie, the protagonist, is a fun and funny narrator who gets into some sticky situations, all while tempted by a super hot doctor who is going to see her in stirrups. Before I talk more about Jana's use of humor, I want to laud her for not messing around with the opening of the book. Check it out. Chapter 1. Sophie, your favorite customer is here. Everly snaps a towel on my ass and grins at me. Everly, shut up. He'll hear you. Fuck. I'm already blushing. Luke. He comes into the coffee shop every Tuesday morning. It's the highlight of my morning shift at Grind Me, a coffee shop just off campus. I work around my classes at University of Pennsylvania. The Grind Me location I work at caters mainly to professionals and students living in off-campus apartments. Luke definitely falls into the professional category. I'm not sure what he does, but he strolls into Grind Me in very expensive-looking suits and sharp ties. Nothing like the college boys in athletic pants and graphic print t-shirts. He must be 10, 15 years older than me. It doesn't matter. He's beautiful, and I have a bit of a thing for him, which is bad because I have a boyfriend, an age-appropriate boyfriend. But it's just a harmless crush, right? But Luke, he makes my panties wet just ordering coffee. Look how much we learn just from the first digital page. We meet the protagonist and learn she's the first-person narrator. We meet her friend/confidant. We pick up the tone of the book. It's fun and informal. We learn where the protagonist works and roughly how old she is and where she is in her life. We learn about Luke, the male protagonist. He's very sexy and a little older. Okay, maybe a lot older. I don't want to focus on Jana's open, but I think she did a great job. I want to focus on humor. Reading Wrong made me smile and laugh out loud. I seldom come across books that can make that happen. The most important thing for our purposes, how did she make me laugh? Let's take a look at some examples from the text. Jana gives her characters fun dialogue that also serves the purpose of building the relationships between the characters. By the way Sophie and Everly talk to each other, you can tell that they are very close. Here's an early exchange after Sophie has served coffee to her crush, Luke, the doctor.
Whew, that was hot. Everly fans herself with a takeout bag. Sexual tension. Is it warm in here? Stop it. She loves teasing me. We go through this every week. He must hear her snickering in the background. And she ensures I am the one who waits on him every time. If she's at the counter when he arrives, she immediately finds something else to do so she can step back and watch me ogle him. It's embarrassingly obvious. Enough of the mysterious hottie. Are you going to put out and fuck Mike or not? You made him wait like a month. That's a long time in horny college boy time. Plus, you're the oldest virgin on campus. Not even our campus. All the campuses. It's not my fault I dated a gay guy for 2 years. I tuck a strand of hair behind my ear and cross my arms across my chest. I'm a little defensive about this. Hello, Earth 2 Delusional. You didn't find it odd you were dating a 20-year-old guy who never tried to stick his dick in you? Everly dumps beans into the industrial-sized grinder and raises a skeptical eyebrow in my direction. I hand her a stack of 1-pound grind me bags labeled for individual sale and lean against the opposite counter. I thought he respected me, not that he was afraid of vaginas, I tell her, kicking the rubber mat on the floor over an inch. He let me suck him off. I add this in, hoping it's a valid point in my defense. Everly snorts. Yeah, with the lights off. I bite my lip and look away. Oh my god, I was joking. I'm so sorry, Sophie. Shit, seriously. Guys love to watch themselves get sucked, but Scott was probably picturing a dude while his dick was in your mouth, so... Oh, fuck, I'm making this worse. Everly drops the coffee bag under the dispenser. Beans scatter across the counter and drop to the floor while she grabs me into a giant hug.
I know. Analyzing why something is funny can drain the humor out of just about any joke. Still, we need to drain some of the humor. Jana is taking advantage of status shifts, and is doing so in a few ways. There's a power dynamic in Sophie and Everly's relationship. Ordinarily, they are on the same level, but when Luke shows up, she is rendered a bumbling idiot because of her attraction to the guy. Jana also gives us fun visual imagery in the style of Lucille Ball, one of the great comic actors. I love how Everly doesn't just drop anything. She drops coffee beans. You have to admit that's a funnier item to drop than, say, a spoon. Like I mentioned, one of the great strengths of Wrong is the dialogue. The characters sound like real people, but there is one issue that bears mentioning. Profanity. Don't worry, I'm not getting all puritanical on you. The point is that profanity, even a funny romantic comedy, is a spice. If you add the right amount, the effect is wonderful. If you add too much, your family members have to pretend they like the dish you cooked. Then they dump the food on the floor while you're not looking, and even the dog won't touch it. Some readers will be put off by the realistic frankness in Wrong, but those people weren't likely to pick up the book in the first place. Perhaps the biggest reason that Jana's book is so funny is because she follows the two biggest rules of comedy. You need strong, interesting characters, and to put them into interesting situations. Sophie is fun. She's a cute college student who is working her way through that time in her life when she is trying to figure out fully who she is while having a good time and setting herself up for her future. Situation? She has a big crush on a little bit older but not too much guy who turns out to be a gynecologist. Not just any gynecologist, hers. Come on, this is all fun. Look at your own work. Are you using enough humor? There's a big market for humor in romantic comedies, but are we writing, selling, and buying enough fun literary novels? When you do employ humor, are your characters strong enough? Your situations? Let's end my discussion of humor on a joke. Knock knock. Subscribe to my channel. Hit the bell for notifications, and check out the link to my books in the description. I guess that's not much of a joke. Until next time, this is Kenneth Nichols for Allison Rhodes Books reminding you, yeah, books are good.